One resource which is of paramount importance, which is the most significant resource in your preparation for RBI Grade B, is the RBI website, the Great Reserve Bank of India website. प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि आरबीआई वेबसाइट करनी है या नहीं. वी ऑल नो दैट दिस इज वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर आवर प्रिपरेशन. Rather, the problem is, the dilemma is that how to cover this website smartly in less time so as to get the maximum value for your effort. हथौड़ा कहाँ मारना है. When you go to this website, you will find a lot of data, a lot of articles, a lot of regulations, a lot of speeches, and you will feel lost. And people will tell you, ये पढ़ लो, वो पढ़ लो, and you will never be able to know कि क्या important है जहाँ पे आप अपना effort डाल के maximum output ले सकते हैं. So in this video, guys, I'm going to tell you 5 things that you cannot miss on the RBI website. And I'm going to tell you this from the perspective of doability. That is something which is doable, which you can do in the coming time so as to get the maximum output by putting in the minimum effort while reading the RBI website. So if you are doing self preparation, this video is going to be pure gold for you. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं 5 things which you cannot miss on the RBI website. नंबर 5 पे है RBI Bulletins. So RBI हर महीने बुलेटिन रिलीज करता है in which they basically share a lot of information, current statistics क्या है, money and banking की क्या position है. But हमें ये bulletins पूरे नहीं पढ़ने हैं because we don't have that time. And again, we have the objective maximum return in the minimum time. So bulletins में से जो भी data रहता है उसमें से कोई बहुत ज़्यादा questions नहीं आते हैं. I've never seen any questions being asked from the data which is there in the bulletins. So all I am asking you to read from the bulletins is the articles. In every bulletin there would be speeches and articles. Speeches यहाँ से नहीं पढ़ने हैं. I'll tell you a separate part on the RBI website from where you can read these speeches. But these articles, which are very insightful, analytical, they will give you good perspective on, say, state of Indian economy, budget, fiscal policy, and any other thing which is in current affairs. For example, green transition risk to Indian banks. पढ़ के पता नहीं लग रहा है क्या होगा. So it's I think even more than needed that you read such articles so as to know that what is happening in the banking sector. तो ये articles जरूर पढ़िए. स्पीचेस मत पढ़िए और इसमें जितने भी स्टैटिस्टिक्स है नीचे आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू जस्ट टू स्किप देम. पॉसिबल नहीं है हमारे लिए इतना रिमेंबर करना. बट I want to tell you one thing which is important from RBI bulletin perspective. So on your right hand side, if you see under 2020, every month is coming. So right now you're watching the bulletin for March. If I want to see the bulletin for February, I'll click on February and here I'll get the bulletin for February. Now see, monetary policy meeting happens every 2 months. So every alternate article would have monetary policy statement. For example, this February bulletin by RBI has a monetary policy statement. ठीक है, आप ये पढ़ सकते हैं. But even more important is this part, statement on developmental and regulatory policies. अगर आप इस पे क्लिक करेंगे, it will take you to the regulation. Right, developmental and regulatory policies, the regulations which RBI thinks are important and which has been framed in the last 2 months, उसको यहाँ पे बहुत ब्रीफ में बताया होगा. So जो लोग RBI की notifications नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं, I think it's a good cheat code for them that you go to RBI bulletin, right, corresponding to the month of monetary policy. Under that, click on statement on development and regulatory policies and you will get these regulatory policies or developmental policies in the various areas such as liquidity measures, financial markets. उनको काफी अच्छे से कैटेगराइज किया गया है. आप इन नोटिफिकेशंस को पढ़ लीजिए, रेगुलेशंस को पढ़ लीजिए in case you don't have time to read the full scale notifications or regulations. ठीक है, रिस्की है but I think it's worth it if you are really short on time. ठीक है, तो ये नंबर 5 पे हमारा RBI बुलेटिन्स है. इतना ही पढ़ना है, इसके अलावा कुछ और हमें नहीं पढ़ना है. Number 4 is the speeches on the RBI website. Where will you find these speeches? So this is the RBI website. You click here, speeches and interviews. So here you will get the speeches which are month wise. Right now by default it is showing the speeches for March, Feb and Jan or December. If you want to see the previous speeches, you can open 2021 here and say you want to see the speeches for July, you can go here, right? And all these speeches have been beautifully described here. I think this is again pure gold from the perspective of your descriptive exam. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे से एनालिटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव्स दिए गए हैं. इफ यू कैन रीड दिस, अभी मत पढ़िए, चाहे फेज 1 के बाद पढ़िएगा, बट आई थिंक बहुत अच्छा है. फॉर एग्जांपल ये क्रिप्टो करेंसीज पे है. दे विल टेल यू इंट्रोडक्शन, द बेसिक्स ऑफ क्रिप्टो करेंसी, राइट? क्रिटिकल असेसमेंट एज इन व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द क्रिप्टो करेंसीज, व्हाट आर द सॉल्यूशंस, सारा कुछ यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से बताया गया है. एंड में कंक्लूजन भी दिया जाता है, ठीक है? सो दे आर वेरी नाइसली फ्रेम्ड. आई थिंक it decreases your work to decipher that, how to structure that. It is very well structured for your good. तो इन speeches को जरूर पढ़ें, but their sole objective is to build analytical perspective for your descriptive paper. Objective में इनका कुछ भी फायदा नहीं होने वाला है. Let me be very clear on that. नंबर 3 पे है reports and publications. So what are the reports and publications? So if you go to this tab, publications, right, here you will find the reports which are published by RBI. तो उसकी अलग अलग frequency रहती है. Some reports are published on annual basis, some reports are published on half yearly basis, bi-monthly, monthly, whatever it is. But we have to read 2 reports under annual publications. So if you click under annual, you will get annual RBI report and report on trends and progress of the banking industry in India. Both these reports are also mentioned in the RBI notification as in the list of resources to prepare for finance or economic section. If you click on RBI annual report, right here it would be a press release where mostly they will give you the link of this report itself. You can read the full document from here. Again, this report is very big. Are you required to read the whole report? Not as such, but I would request you to read some sections which can really help you to know that what is happening in the banking industry in India. So the good part is that this RBI annual report has been divided. You see part 2, the working and operations of Reserve Bank of India. So this report has been already categorized into various sections: monetary policy, operations, financial inclusion, financial markets, regulations, public debt management, currency management. So you just have to filter out that what are the areas which maps to your syllabus. For example, monetary policy operations, financial inclusion, financial markets and foreign exchange management, regulation. Here they would be discussing that what was the need of various regulations and how these regulations will help solve the problem for which they were enacted. Public debt management और currency management आप छोड़ सकते हैं 7th और 8th. Then payment and settlement system, very important. Communication भी आप छोड़ सकते हैं. Then governance is one of the topics in your syllabus. So governance, part of this report you must read. ठीक है? तो monetary policy operations, credit delivery and financial inclusion, financial markets and foreign exchange market, regulation, supervision and financial stability, payment and settlement system and governance. These are the areas that you should be reading from this report. ठीक है? Again, this report might contain a lot of data and facts. Do not try to cram them because there is very less probability that there would be an objective question asked from that. ठीक है? आपको ज्यादा उसको अगेन एनालिटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव से समझना है और कुछ नंबर्स का आइडिया लेना है सो दैट यू कैन कोट द नियर अबाउट नंबर्स एज डेटा इन योर आंसर्स. दैट्स इट. ज्यादा क्रैमिंग नहीं करनी है, समझने पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना है. So this is about the annual report. Then under annual publications there is reports on trends and progress of the banking industry. Again, if you see this report, the appendix is very big. There are a lot of tables which contains data with respect to various spheres के loans कितने हैं, financial inclusion पे क्या data है, but just ignore this data. नहीं पढ़ सकते हम. जरूरी है नहीं है, that is something which will matter if it is feasible. This is not feasible at all to read so much tables in the appendix. तो आप इसमें जो चीजें पढ़िए वो perspectives पढ़िए, global banking developments पढ़िए and policy environment पढ़िए. These 3 are very good tabs. Perspectives में again they will tell you analytical perspectives on various regulations, various areas, especially the news which are in current affairs, bad banks, green banks, open banks, इनके बारे में अच्छे perspectives दिए गए हैं. Then in global banking developments they will tell you that what are the various initiatives being taken at a global level, say for risk management, say for financial risk with respect to environment sustainability. तो ऐसे बहुत अच्छे अच्छे global banking developments which are the developments happening at the global level are explained here. Then in policy environment also they will tell you that what are the regulations, what is the logic behind them, and how they will help solve the problems for which they were enacted. काफी overlap भी होगा, maybe something that you would have read in RBI annual report would again be now repeated here, but that would be a revision for you. तो आप ये तीन tabs पढ़िए, but बस perspectives, global banking developments and policy environment. बाकी आप छोड़ सकते हैं, maybe they are important, but I think you will not have time for that. ठीक है, again there might be a lot of data here. Do not try to cram the data, just have an overall idea so that you can write a near about figure when quoting such data in your descriptive answers. So again मैं ये descriptive paper के लिए ही आपको बता रहा हूँ that you read this report on trend and progress in the banking in India. Right guys, so this is about number 3, reports and publications. आपको ये 2 reports मैंने बताई पढ़नी है. Apart from that there is a financial stability report also on the RBI website, जो कि आपको हाफ ईयरली पब्लिकेशंस में मिलेगी. दिस इज द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट, राइट? यू कैन रीड इट फ्रॉम हियर. अगेन डू नॉट ट्राई टू क्रैम एवरीथिंग. फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट बेसिकली tries to analyze that how is the risk management in our country. ठीक है, मतलब साउंडनेस कैसी है हमारे फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम की, एंड व्हाट आर द रेगुलेटरी इनिशिएटिव्स दैट हैव बीन कंस्ट्रक्टेड सो एज टू एंश्योर दैट आवर ओवरऑल फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम रिमेन्स स्टेबल, ताकि कुछ ऐसा भी फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस नियर फ्यूचर में ना आए. ठीक है, और इसमें एक और इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट मैं बताऊंगा दैट जब आप यहाँ पे क्लिक करेंगे हाफ ईयरली पब्लिकेशंस में, देन फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट विल कम. क्लिक ऑन हियर, देन दीज आर द हाइलाइट्स. ठीक है, देयर इज अ गुड चांस कि अगर इसमें से कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन आता है दैट विल कम फ्रॉम द हाइलाइट्स ओनली. तो इन हाइलाइट्स को ऑब्जेक्टिव पर्सपेक्टिव से पढ़ लीजिए, इसमें जो भी डेटा है उसको क्रैम कर लीजिए. बट वंस यू आर इनसाइड द रिपोर्ट, डू नॉट ट्राई टू क्रैम द डेटा, इट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड various numbers, where do we stand, what are the reasons for that, and what could be the solutions for that, जो कि इस रिपोर्ट में बहुत अच्छे से समझाया जाता है. ठीक है, so that was about reports and publications. And one thing that I want to tell you कि अभी when I'm making this video, the RBI annual report that is there on the website is the old one, and the new one is expected to come before your exam itself. So maybe you can delay your reading for RBI annual report, maybe do it after, say, once the new report is out, or if it does not comes out in another 30-40 days, you can read the old report. On number 2 is the FAQs. FAQs are really good source of static portion for you. There can be a lot of questions asked in your RBI Grade B Finance objective paper from these FAQs. ठीक है, तो FAQs पे कैसे जाना है? I don't know the link, frankly. Honestly, I don't know the link to go to the FAQs from the RBI website. So what I do is always go to Google and write FAQs plus RBI website. So I'll do this, right? So when I click on this, it will take me to the RBI FAQs on the RBI website. It has been categorized into various heads: banking, currency, foreign exchange, government securities market, NBFCs, others, and payment system. तो इसमें सारे पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. आई थिंक गो फॉर बैंकिंग. देयर आर सम गुड FAQs with respect to banking sector, for example on priority sector lending, right? TLTROs which recently have been very popular. So आप ये FAQs पढ़िए banking में. Then for currency and foreign exchange, maybe you can leave. Government securities market, this is very important. Basically primary and secondary markets, the debt market part can be covered, the whole debt market part can be covered from government securities market FAQs. Then NBFCs you must read, and payment systems you must read, because this is something new happening in the banking industry. तो payment systems के बारे में जरूर पढ़िए. ठीक है, so these are the FAQs that you can read from here, and government securities market FAQs are the most important under this head. One thing that might be a problem while reading these FAQs is because sometimes the FAQs are old, then RBI keeps on updating various numbers through regulations, but the FAQs are not updated. FAQs का पर्पस तो ये है कि नॉर्मल पब्लिक को आसानी से चीजें समझाई जाएं. तो जब कुछ भी लॉन्च होता है, they put FAQs on that, but later when they are updated through yearly notifications or circulars, they do not always update the numbers in the FAQs. तो थोड़ा उसका ध्यान रखिएगा, that might be a risk, but overall FAQs is a good source for your objective preparation of finance. ठीक है. Number 1 पे the most important for you to read from RBI website is RBI notifications. Now there are a lot of current affairs asked in finance, and most of the current affairs that are asked in finance are from RBI notifications. तो RBI notifications के लिए this is the tab on the RBI website. You click on notifications, it will show you all the notifications, right, for a particular month. अभी April और March की दिखा रहा है. So if you want to say see the notification for March, just go here, click on March. It will show you all the notifications for March. The main point that you need to understand while reading the notifications is that do not read notifications which are like operational or procedural in nature. मतलब कोई regulation आया है जहाँ पे bankers को समझना है कि banking कैसे करनी है, it might not be useful to you. Rather, what will be useful to you is a regulation which is say for the general public or for the overall financial stability, risk management, something for the overall banking sector if regulation is there. Okay, I'll give you an example. For example, special clearing operations on March 31. Now this is for a banker के March 31 को कुछ clearing operations कर रही है जो सारे banks को करना है. This is not for general public, and neither this is a regulation, I mean, which is impacting the stability or the risk or the liquidity in the system. On the other hand, if you see this notification, framework of geotagging of payment system touch points, कि जितने भी हमारे टच पॉइंट्स हैं पेमेंट सिस्टम को लेकर उनकी हम जियो टैगिंग करेंगे, विच इज वेरी यूजफुल बिकॉज द अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज दैट आरबीआई एज अ डेटाबेस विच कैन बी शोन टू द पीपल कि यहाँ पे आपके पेमेंट टच पॉइंट्स हैं. ठीक है. देन फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज this notification, implementation of section 51A of UAPA 1967, something. So this is again something internal, right? Then Exim Bank's Government of India supported LOC of USD 500 million to the Government of Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. कोई लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट एक्सटेंड की है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने श्रीलंका के लिए या फिर रिपब्लिक ऑफ गुयाना के लिए, ऐसी न्यूज आती रहती हैं. these are just operational or procedural nature. This is not something which is for the general public or which is a regulation in a sense, right? For example, formation of new district in state of Meghalaya, just operational in nature, right? On the other hand, if I talk about say another notification, investment in umbrella organization by primary urban cooperative banks, this seems to be something of a regulation sort of thing. ठीक है, इन्वेस्टमेंट के रिगार्डिंग अम्ब्रेला ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात हो रही है. ठीक है. Then master direction, classification, valuation and operation of investment portfolio of commercial bank directions, ये भी कोई amendment है जो मुझे एक regulation की तरह लग रही है. So please be clear that whenever you are going through these notifications, do not try to read everything. You have to filter it out, और procedural, operational, repeated चीजें जो भी आ रही हैं उनको आप छोड़ दीजिए. They are not asked in the exam. Now when you click on the notifications, right, you will get this, but apart from that there are also master directions and master circulars. तो आप इनको भी देख सकते हैं. master directions are like, no, when something is combined into a single notification. मतलब आपने पिछले साल एक ही financial inclusion के related you have done 4 changes through various separate notifications, but all that would be combined in one single master direction related to financial inclusion. तो यहाँ पे आपको काफी master directions मिलेंगे. I would request you कि आप फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन एंड डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड, फाइनेंशियल मार्केट से रिलेटेड, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड छोड़ सकते हैं. फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन एंड डेवलपमेंट, फाइनेंशियल मार्केट, कमर्शियल बैंकिंग एंड पेमेंट एंड सेटलमेंट सिस्टम, इनसे रिलेटेड मास्टर डायरेक्शंस आप पढ़ लें. नहीं भी पढ़ेंगे तो चलेगा. द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज द नोटिफिकेशंस इटसेल्फ, जो मैंने आपको ये दिखाई हैं. दीज आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. मास्टर डायरेक्शंस एंड मास्टर सर्कुलर्स, मे बी इफ यू वांट टू रीड, इफ यू हैव टाइम, then only read them, but otherwise reading notifications can itself be enough. और कभी कभार क्या होता है कि once you are reading something on RBI website which is very heavy, बहुत सारा उसमें आपको लग रहा है कंटेंट है, बहुत सारी बातें की गई हैं जो आपको समझ नहीं आ रही, then there is a cheat code for that. What is a cheat code? For example, आपने ये वाली नोटिफिकेशन खोली, मार्च के महीने में मैंने आपको एक नोटिफिकेशन दिखाई थी, फ्रेमवर्क फॉर जियो टैगिंग ऑफ पेमेंट सिस्टम टच पॉइंट्स. आप इसको खोलते हैं, देन इट सीम्स दैट इट इज वेरी टेक्निकल एंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट. then do one thing, right? Just copy this, here and go to Google, right? Go to Google and search this. Copy paste it and search this in Live Mint or Economic Times, क्योंकि जो भी न्यूज आरबीआई की रेगुलेशन से रिलेटेड होगी इट वुड बी कवर्ड इन द न्यूज़पेपर्स आल्सो. ठीक है, हम इसको यहाँ पे सर्च करेंगे. सो दिस इज द न्यूज दैट हैज पॉप्ड अप ऑन लाइव मिंट, राइट? क्योंकि मैंने द प्लस लाइव मिंट किया था तो मुझे लाइव मिंट पे ये न्यूज दिखाएगा. आई विल ओपन दिस. ठीक है, मे बी तो यहाँ पे ये न्यूज आप देखेंगे बहुत ही आसान तरीके से, छोटे तरीके से कवर की होगी एंड इट विल कवर ओनली द इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स दैट यू नीड टू नो. बहुत डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे. सो दिस इज अ चीट कोड दैट यू कैन यूज, because with this you will be reading something which is really important rather than reading everything given on the RBI website. ठीक है, चाहे वो नोटिफिकेशन हो या कोई स्पीच हो, स्पीचेस भी न्यूज़पेपर्स में कवर की जाती हैं, रिपोर्ट्स भी कवर की जाती हैं. सो दैट इज द चीट कोड यू कैन यूज टू कवर एनीथिंग व्हिच यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑन द RBI वेबसाइट. तो इसको यूज करके आप अपना टाइम और बचा सकते हैं. सो विद दिस गाइज आई टेक योर लीव. आई होप दिस वीडियो मस्ट बी यूजफुल टू यू. इससे आपको डायरेक्शन मिलेगी, आपका टाइम सेव होगा और आप बहुत कम समय में आरबीआई वेबसाइट से बहुत सब कुछ कवर कर लेंगे विच मैटर्स टू यू विद रिस्पेक्ट टू योर numbers, marks in RBI Grade B. Thank you, have a nice day and wish you best of luck.